why. Nigeria, if you recall, was down 2-1 against defending champions Cameroon, came back, a team that they had scored against first. So what Nigeria needs to do is do a better job in the midfield, dominate the midfield. That's indeed on the table. You need to do a better job in what they're doing. But more importantly, utilize your flanks, your speed, that what got you here. Right. You need to utilize that. In the case of Algeria, change nothing. You're leading right now, but Baghdad, Bounedjah needs to put on his scoring boots, or else he's going to be shedding tears like he did against Ivory Coast if Nigeria advances in this game.
Yeah, he was, of course, cranked that penalty kick off the crossbar and had to wait nervously through penalties before they advanced that final penalty, sending them through off the post from the captain of Ivory Coast that sent Algeria here to the semi-final. Odion Gallo quiet in the first half. Is that surprising to you?
Not at all, because the two center backs for Algeria have done a good job in limiting his. Every time he touches the ball, there's a defender right there. If he turns and gets past him, there's another one waiting for him. This is where the flank comes in, because as a good hold-up player, if he lays the ball to a Chukwueze to his left or an Ahmed Musa to his right, that opportunity is there. But those players they're trailing, they're lagging on the play. Alex Iwobi as well is not helping because he's holding on to the ball too long. Less touches probably gets Odion Gallo in better position. But he had a shot on goal. Well, he had a shot, but it was off target. So I expect a lot more from him in the second half.
All right, let's send you down to second half at Cairo International Stadium. Here's your commentator, Dwayne Daloka.
Second half gets underway then with Algeria leading Nigeria by a goal to nil. Algeria turning out in the white with green trim against the Nigerian side in the darker green. They're looking to overturn a one-goal deficit at half-time. Kenneth Omuro, the Chelsea man, only 25 years old. He's been with the club since 2012, would you believe, and he's not played a moment for them. He's been loaned out 6 times since joining Chelsea 7 years ago. He was on loan in Spain at Leganes this past campaign. This Trosticom, and they scored that unfortunate own goal. And the man who's almost made that central defensive position his own in recent times. Ben Lamoury making a call. Jamilu Collins is just loving every moment he has as part of the Super Eagles squad. He's loving the opportunity to be involved. Ismail bin Nasser, meanwhile, is spoken to by the match officials. Going to take the band around his socks off. As Nigeria come probing forward, Iwobi looking for Igalo, is being held. Looked like he was having a little tug back. Igalo likes to bustle his way through opposing defences. Well, tape is coming off for Ben Nasser. They'll need to get certain bit tape back on. Jamel Bemadi fuming on the near side. Instructions to players and Captain Mahrez as well. Ben Nasser being waved back on now by referee Bakari Papagasama. Better here from Trosticom. Clear jersey tugging though from Baghdad Bounedjah, and call goes in favour of Nigeria, who have a moment's respite. Far side, Chidozie Owaziem maybe benefited from the injury to Abdoulaye Shea in the early stages of this tournament, but he's taken his opportunities brilliantly. As Chidozie Owaziem, far side, yes, Bitzbani again. So both sides looking to knock the ball around in the opening stages of the second half. Bilaili happy not to just hoof that ball clear as Ben Nasser stays on his feet. Under real pressure here, and maybe a genuine chance to run at the defence. Mahrez was looking to go central, and Bilaili and Bounedjah nearly coming together. That's Itebo winning ball back brilliantly. Trosticom will take for Nigeria. A man who plays very focused brand of football. He's going to need to be focused here. This is A little kind for the Nigerian goalkeeper, Daniel Akpe. As Baghdad Bunja again puts himself in the right place to try to find an opening strike for him in this game. The own goal from Trostikong that separates these sides as the tall defender now looks to go straight down the centre into the path of Musa, just a little too far ahead of him. Fall kindly here from the ball back from the Algerian defence for Fighouli. Found Ben Nasser and now Belaili looking to switch angles towards Riyad Mahrez, and this is very similar to the goal they scored against Guinea, where Belaili saw a little bit of space for Mahrez, laid it into his path. This time though, closed down by Jamilu Collins. It's been 5 years in the books of Croatian club Rijeka. Baghdad Bunja coming up for the aerial duel against Trostikong, and it's not often that you're going to see anybody come off better than Trostikong. Then Lamri back to Mboli. So the Super Eagles trailing by 1, looking to find their way back into this tie and overturn the deficit in a battle between two of Africa's giant teams, three-time champions Nigeria and Algeria, 1990 winners against Nigeria in the final. Ball comes out here again, and Murua lets it go. Jamilu Collins had the unfortunate skip bounce in front of him. Mahrez does well to keep it in play, but Collins fantastically to win back possession here for Nigeria. Although the subsequent clearance is straight back into the path of Algeria, who look to control possession. It's Baini. Ben Lamri plays in Saudi Arabia now, does Ben Lamri. Played around at some of the top Algerian clubs before eventually making his way to Saudi Arabia in 2016. The man who's stepped into the fray is Rafik Alish, getting a little older now, and the retirements of players like Antar Yahya. There's a Debo. This time it's a rare opportunity for Guediora to get onto a ball that Debo is allowed to escape him. Fighouli searching for options, look to go the Mahrez way. Up against Collins again. This is how the goal came. Mahrez, lovely back heel. Fighouli brilliantly onto it, but genuine pressure from a recovering Jamilu Collins, who looked to be helped out by Kenneth Omuro. And again, it's Alex Iwobi who's sitting deep and brilliantly helping his defence. Box-to-box stuff from Alex Iwobi, who looks to go on the attack now and gets away from his man, and that might be the opening caution of this tie. Straight away, absolutely no doubt in referee's mind, Baghdad Bunja is asking for VAR. It's there are only 4 reasons you get to go to a VAR. And for a yellow card offence, it is not one of them. For a red card offence, you can. Ooh. And he might have had a point. He picks up a yellow card, and Iwobi has not been touched. So Bunja, he will not miss out on the final suspended if he is able to advance with his Algerian side. It's been undone there. Now Etebo from the set piece looks to take it short, but that ploy has not worked, as Mehdi Safan has stepped up and cleared to the near side. That'll be out of play on the near side. Throw it to Algeria. Jamal Benmari. I want his side to control the situation now. They lead on the scoreboard. The hard part is only just beginning. Nigeria, you imagine, are going to be throwing as much as they can at Algeria in this second half. Well, the Algerian fans and the Nigerian fans singing songs. The Algerian fans every so often break into a chant. 1, 2, 3, Vive Algérie is one of the favourites. I've sat in enough stadia with Nigerian fans who like to sing Sama Sinwalo. I apologise for my singing. 8 minutes down in the second half. Algeria maintain a 1-goal advantage. I'm enjoying some of the battles off the pitch as well, as the fans look to outnoise one another, encourage their players to rise a little higher. Awaziem. Chukwueze. Looks to go beyond Bensabeni, instead cuts inside him, and again the control. Didi and Etebo have been magnificent in midfield for Nigeria so far. Here's Musa though, and he's passed that between two players. Chukwueze was running in toward the back post, and Igalo in a central position. Iwobi had broken into an advanced position almost directly in front of Musa, and he was unable to pick out any one of the three advancing teammates. Collins back inside to Etebo. I watched him at the Rio Olympic Games when he became the first man in nearly 50 years to score 4 goals in a single Olympic men's football tournament match. Scored 4 against Japan in a match that Nigeria nearly lost. It was 5-4 the final score, but they were leading 5-2 at one stage, and Japan came back particularly strongly. And Etebo was superb, scoring with both feet on the day, left and right. Here he is, Olympic bronze medalist from the Rio Games. One of 5 are in the squad. Only 3 Africa Cup of Nations winners, including this man, Ahmed Musa, Kenneth Omuru, and John Mikel Obi, the 3 who remain from the side that won the title 6 years ago. Musa looking on as Gediore is down. 2 came together. I think damage might have been done, a collision. Ben Larmi is a hard man. So 10 minutes gone in the second half. Algeria maintaining that 1-goal advantage they took into the break. Algeria have not been the dominant side in recent meetings between these countries. Nigeria have won 7 of their last 9 meetings. And there has been some contentious moments between these countries in recent times, especially in the World Cup qualifiers of 2018, where Nigeria ended up securing a 1-1 draw in Constantine in World Cup qualifiers, and subsequently saw that scrapped because FIFA punished Nigeria for fielding an ineligible player. John Ogu actually scored what was his first goal in the match before Yassin Brahimi, I think it was, from the penalty mark, cancelled it out. 1-1 it ended, but in the end Abdoulaye Shea had picked up 2 yellow cards in matches prior, should have sat out suspended but played. Nigeria ended up being fined and having to forfeit the match. Didn't end up doing anything other than change the number of points they picked up in the group. Still went to the World Cup in Russia last year. And they were handed a rather unkind draw again against Argentina, that this man loves scoring against. Ahmed Musa. Here's Bilaili. Back to Bensabeni. Bilaili remains down as Etebo has possession here and looks to feed to Trostekong, who allows that ball to be played out on the far side. It's Gediore, rather, who's down. Ooh, on the inside of the foot, just on the inside of the bridge of his foot. Certainly nothing intentional from Ahmed Musa, but that will be particularly painful for Adlin Gediore. Now 33 in the twilight of his career and looking to make a little history. The Nottingham Forest man who's playing in the Championship in England. Martin O'Neill was the coach of his side when he left. Sabri Lamouchi is the coach when he returns. Missing the start of pre-season with the club. Handful of players who are warming up. Well, I do hope you get an opportunity to see Victor Osimhen play. Quality finisher who's proved himself in the youth ranks and who's looking to slowly settle into the senior game. A couple of the players on the Algerian bench warming up. Not some who might be immediately into the fray, you would imagine. Players that you might expect to make their way on in the second half for this Algerian side, not the likes of Hisham Boudaoui, who's a quality midfielder in his own right, or Mehdi Abed. There are midfielders who can just hold things up. Meanwhile, Iwobi looks to push forward, tries a shot from a long way out, and there would have been something astonishing required from that sort of range to beat a goalkeeper of Mboli's quality from here. And Alex Iwobi is not shy, and certainly not short on zeal. He looks to fire in an equalising goal from range. Oh, watches on. Rise Mboli. Bounced around a little as Mboli over the years. He's been thoroughly consistent for Algeria over the years, but he's found himself over the last 9 years playing regularly for Algeria, but in 15 professional seasons he's played at 13 different clubs. There's Collins. Itebo. You can literally play him anywhere, Itebo. He is so dynamic. He's got pace, he's got driving runs, he can get the passing game going as Iwobi slips it out wide. Chukwueze looking to have a run in. Igalo waits centrally, up against Mandi, and looking for a call in his favour here, Chukwueze, and he's gone and won the corner. The 20-year-old is continuing to impress here at the Africa Cup of Nations and looking to inspire an equalising goal for Nigeria as the hour mark approaches here at the Cairo International Stadium. An air of expectation as Nigeria dream of a fourth title. To maintain that dream, keep it alive. Mboli being potentially inspired by Bin Lamri to encourage his teammate to pull off a save. Deny the Super Eagles, who search for that equaliser from the corner on the hour mark. Delivery in and easy enough for Mboli. Comes out confidently and claims. Number two having a standoff, referee and goalkeeper. I was feeling that there was never a corner in Chukwueze's run. Either way, it's a last four meeting between the Desert Foxes of Algeria, the highest goal scorers in the competition with 11 goals now. They've only conceded once. The lowest number of goals conceded on Nigeria. They've been able to score goals. They know how to win games. While the Madagascar loss have looked like an increasingly good side at the right time, and they know how to win tournaments. Brady showing his attempted skill. Chidozie still not dribbled past. Well, that'll be a free kick indeed. The culprit on this occasion, the indirect free kick, studs up here. Ben Nasser looking to control that, and as Ndidi put the boot up, the referee right on the spot calls the indirect free kick. Basically signed by Leicester City to replace N'Golo Kante, who is heading off to Chelsea. The ridiculously athletic Wilfred Ndidi has just grown so tremendously, and he's putting in another massive shift for Nigeria in midfield as Bilaili and Ben Nasser discuss tactics for this set piece. Fed in here, and it's easily away by Chidozie Awaziem. Only as far as Mahrez, who looks to break into a danger area. Fegoli with the attempted chip, looking to deftly place it on the head of any of his teammates, and that ball is escaped without an Algerian touching it. Beyond Fegoli's attempts, Mahrez keeping it alive, and then Fegoli. Don't think he was trying to place that, was he? Well, he might have been trying to chip it, maybe from that angle. Let's just try to bend that ball in, hit it with the outside of the boot and curl it in towards Mboli's goal. It takes some effort to score from that sort of range, from that sort of angle, with that sort of strike. So Nigeria up against an Algerian side that are not simply going to defend. Chatting to a few Nigerian fans ahead of this tie, who felt that their side might very well have a little bit of an advantage in the sense that they've had an additional day to recover, only played 90 minutes in a later evening game. against South Africa in the quarterfinals. Cote d'Ivoire took Algeria to extra time and penalties 3 days ago rather than 4 that Nigeria last played. And they played at 6 o'clock kickoff, 38 degrees Celsius at kickoff at 6 p.m. local time at Suez, where the humidity is also punishingly high. They were hoping that would give Nigeria some sort of favour in this time, but so far we've seen no signs of any fatigue from any of the Algerian players. We start unchanged, bar for the injured Yusuf Attal, who broke his collarbone in that quarter-final tie. And I remind you, the winner of this tie goes on to face Senegal in the final. They're only into their second final, are Senegal. And a man who captained them to the final played in 2002. Aliou Cissé has now coached them to only their second final, and looking to go one better now as the man in charge rather than as a player. Moussa skips that out for the throw-in. But Nigeria beginning to get to that stage of the match where they will recognise that time is running out. There is still plenty of time, but the longer they go without scoring, the greater the urgency required. Nigeria will just be looking to absorb as much as they can. This is knockout football. Despite the injury, there's Yusuf Attal wearing the arm in a sling, his right arm. He broke his collarbone in a fall. He landed awkwardly on his elbow. Also with a long throw that comfortably cleared by the Algerian defence, Trostikong. Sunday Olise once said he was a little too soft, Trostikong. There is something about his game that is very controlled. So 20 minutes down in the second half, and Algeria maintaining their one-goal advantage as Moussa. Another chance to potentially find Igalo with a long throw. And then Moussa, most effortless in finding it. Cleared again by the defence, Bunja and Nasser making a little bit of a run as well. Everybody looking for space here. Belaili looking to run onto the end of this one. Guediora sitting in the pocket. Feghouli is back as well. Belaili is looking to pick out a teammate, any one of 3 players running onto it. Nigeria escape with possession here. Chukwueze, Iwobi's waiting out wide. Igalo's gone more central and dropped a little deeper now. Picks it up, looks to feed Iwobi. Cuts back inside of 2. He's got Moussa as an option to look to go at, and Mehdi Zefan comes across and steers that ball away. It's Chukwueze again. Iwobi. Ogenekaro Atebo. It's that 18-yard area now, and Nigeria escape with possession again. Igalo runs out of the 18-yard area, but Nigeria still maintaining their pressure and possession here. The Super Eagles searching for an equalizer. Ball is skipped to the opposite side. Awaziem, 22-year-old who's spent last season on loan at Porto at the Turkish league at Çaykur Rizespor. Appeals here, and muted appeals from the Nigerians for a handball in the area, all bar Igalo, who is still pleading with the referee. Meanwhile, Feghouli having a bit of a battle, and Zakele Sewela on the near side. The South African assistant referee says that is a free kick to Nigeria. This is the call a moment ago, and that's come off the arm. Now we will go to a VAR. Feghouli, meanwhile, has big caution. I imagine we're going to go to a VAR decision. Feghouli, meanwhile, has been cautioned for this challenge that was called by the assistant referee immediately with his arm up, saying Feghouli has fouled Atebo. But this was a short while ago. Issa Mandi now standing in the area. Igalo is vehement in his appeal for a penalty. So the referee has gone for the VAR. He has the option of checking with the VAR camp, and I suspect this is going to be a penalty to Nigeria here if he's in the area. Issa Mandi. Igalo was absolutely adamant. Musa as well. Mandi knows it, struck him on the arm. It's his 50th appearance today. It's meant to be a happy day, and it might turn out to be an unhappy one. He's in the area. It's come off the arm. He knows it as well. The arm is out. He's made the body wider. That ball might have been going wide. But a ball off the arm like that is a free kick, and a free kick inside the penalty area is... There's a penalty. Just waiting for the communication here. Paul van Boekel of the Netherlands is in, and here is the decision. Oh, the referee says, I'm going to go and have a look at this myself. So, Bakari Papagasama, the only African referee who went to the 2017 FIFA Confederation Cup, a man who is widely regarded as the top referee on the continent, certainly consistently one of the top referees in Africa, refereeing this titanic semi-final tie, is going to make a decision, courtesy of the visuals here. Now, his view initially might have been obscured slightly by the players running across it, and that has come off the arm. It's inside the area. So the referee is having a little discussion, and I think we might even see a caution coming for Mandi. So the referee will make a decision. It struck the arm of Mandi, and we are going to a penalty, and this is the correct decision. The Algerian fans react angrily, but this is the correct decision, and Mandi is being cautioned as well. It's turning out to be a very unhappy milestone 50th appearance for Mandi. Brilliantly struck by Atebo, looking to take on the Algerian defence, and you might call unfortunate the handball, but this is an opportunity for Odion Igalo to become the tournament's leading goal scorer, but more importantly for Nigeria to level matters inside the final 20 minutes of the regulation 90. Well, Igalo adamant with the appeal for a handball. It was he who ducked, struck the arm of Mandi, and there's no doubt about it. VAR has made the correct decision here. It is a penalty to Nigeria, and Odion Igalo, who scored 7 goals in qualifying, top scorer across all the teams for the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations, is staring down a man who's only been beaten once in over 500 minutes of football at the Africa Cup of Nations this tournament. Mboli up against Igalo. Scored against Burundi, he scored a brace against Cameroon, and he levels for Nigeria here with 18 minutes to go. Odion Igalo is the tournament's leading goal scorer with 4, and Nigeria are back on level terms. An enormous cheer from the Super Eagles fans who made their way to the venue as they believe once again it is on, it is on. Issa Mandi still protesting. A man who was outstanding by his performance against Germany in the round of 16 at the FIFA World Cup in 2014. Mboli beaten for only the 2nd time this tournament. It's come from the penalty mark. Odion Igalo makes no mistake. Now based in China, the former Watford striker. And Mboli, not much you can do about that. Well, both will feel there's an element of misfortune here. Mandi feels aggrieved, but it was clearly a handball. So a VAR decision. has confirmed a penalty to Nigeria after the unfortunate own goal from William Troost-Ekong, and so far we've seen an own goal and a penalty in this tie on a day that has seen the other semi-final between Senegal and Senegal and Tunisia decided by an own goal after both teams had missed a penalty. In regulation time, it was decided after 120 minutes. Senegal awaits the winner of this tie in the final on Friday, while in Wednesday's third-place playoff, the loser will face Tunisia. Will it be a North versus West battle again? Or will it be an all-West battle in the final? These are the only two outcomes. No North-North as Tunisia have crashed out. Aliou Cisse's Teranga Lions, the only semi-finalists not to have previously won this tournament, into the final. Odion Ighalo, a man with the golden boot, his 15th international goal in only his 34th appearance. Ben Larbi, meanwhile, is fuming over this moment. Just making sure he got in the way of Ndidi, who didn't know too much about that other than trying to track the ball. Oh, the Nigerian fans. They are singing loudly now. If I'm not mistaken, that ditty that I sung a moment ago, that Nigerian fans are often wont to sing that chant, Sama Sinwalo, means something along the lines of lead us into battle. And right now, they've battled their way back. There was an element of fortune in the duck by Ighalo. And having VAR available, the referee having made the correct decision. And now Nigeria back on level terms. They claimed two important wins over North African opponents. Did Nigeria, bear in mind, in the qualifiers, beat Libya by 4-0 at home and 3-2 away. Ighalo scored a hat-trick against Libya in that 4-0 win. No stranger to scoring against North African sides, Odion Ighalo. But not having qualified for the past two editions of the Africa Cup of Nations, there is a feeling that it is imperative that they go on to win here. There must be some success. It's almost a demand from the rather emphatic and demanding Super Eagles fans. He will be. This is better from Nigeria on the overlap. Algeria needing to defend here, and that's rather well done from Belaili to deny Chidozie Awaziem to run onto that. Scored against the Seychelles in qualifying, did Chidozie Awaziem. Chukwueze. That through ball. And every time I think of Chukwueze, I think of that most entertaining match in La Liga this past campaign, as we hit inside 15 minutes to go. 1-1 it is. Potential of extra time and penalties here. But just having watched Chukwueze throughout the La Liga season, in which he also gained some Europa League experience, he had a goal and an assist in what was just a superb advert for the La Liga in April. And Villarreal drew 4 with Barcelona. So, substitution here for Nigeria. Chukwuemeka Henry is making his way on. And Chukwueze makes his way off. And I was just praising. It's rather late to see a first substitution. Henry Onyekuru is on his way on now and will look to impress once again. The English-based player. Well, he's been out on loan since joining Everton. Free kick Algeria, Ben Nasser. Down he goes, Iwobi protests, but then waves it away. Big bump off the ball. Both who've worn the colours of Arsenal in England. This was moment ago, Gudiora with that run through. And looking to lay the ball off. Figuli searching for options, then set it up. Picked up, but Nasiri was subsequently overrun. Chukwueze, meanwhile, makes his way all around the pitch to where his teammates sit on the bench as Algeria prepared to take from the set piece. With just over 10 minutes to play in this tie. We're locked at 1 apiece in this intense semi-final battle. Low and flat, it's crisp and inviting, but it's cleared here by Igalo. All Nigerian players back to help defend the set piece. Soufiane Figuli, touch on that, a little too strong, and Akpay will bring it under control. Daniel Akpay. He's taken his chance in the battles against the likes of Uzo and Ezenwa. Also bear in mind, after the retirement of the great Vincent Nyema, Carly Keme, of course, was the man who took over the #1 coaching, the goalkeeping department. Spent his entire career on the books of Wolverhampton Wanderers, did Carly Keme. Then was diagnosed with leukemia less than 2 years ago. And 2 weeks ago, I'm delighted to tell you, he actually attended Wolves training. His career is over, he's had to retire, but it's been a horrendous time for Carly Keme. A personal experience, it's really seen him go through some grueling treatments. It's cost him his dream of playing in the World Cup, it's cost him his dream of playing football for a lengthy period. It's even cost him being present at his second daughter's birth. I'm glad to see that he's managed to get leukemia into remission, and his thoughts are certainly with him and his family. There's Iwobi, that's trying from range, but again, Mboli not going to be beaten from that sort of range. 10 minutes to go. Iwobi looking to up the intensity here with his second long-range effort at Mboli. Ball out wide, and Spain brings it under control. Down goes Ben Nasser. So free kick to Algeria. 9 minutes of football remain, plus some added time. Opportunity for one of these to find a winner. The Algerian fans have suddenly found their voice again. And they are chanting wildly. Mahrez over it. Looks to strike it cleanly. It's a lovely delivery as well. It's only inches ahead of Baghdad Bunja. It looked like an inviting ball, and no player was able to run onto. And Bunja, with a signal to Mahrez, that is where he wanted it, a little inside. 1-1 as it stands. Well, Yusuf Attal with a broken collarbone, ruled out of the remainder of the tournament, is staying with the team. And I wonder if Jamel Belmadi might be considering going the way of the dangerous Sandy Delors or Adam Mounas in the moments remaining. Big challenge over the top here from Mehdi Sefan. It's gone in over the top of Ahmed Musa. And the Nigerian captain on the day, clutching onto his head here. Taking an elbow. The body of Sefan immediately behind him. Sefan got to the ball, fair enough, but you do need to take into consideration of the opponent as well. So both sides creating chances. Who will create the chance that snatches this? Is there a moment that'll prove decisive in 90 minutes, or will we see extra time? Borley with that comfortable catch, the former Marseille youth player, also played for France youth international level before opting to represent Algeria ahead of the 2010 FIFA World Cup. To the near side. At the moment, Nikura is looking to get anywhere near the ball, just get involved in what is his first appearance at the Africa Cup of Nations. This tournament, incidentally, is the first appearance at an Africa Cup of Nations for 20 of the 23 players of Nigeria's youthful squad that has been part of a rebuilding phase since they won the 2013 Africa Cup of Nations title. Ben Nasser. It's better from Algeria, searching to go back in front by a goal, and Belaili going down. Referee says goal kick. Belaili breaking into that 18-yard area, looking to run onto this around the outside of Chidozie Awaziem. Chip that ball back inside and it's out of play effectively by the time any contact happened. 5 minutes to play, plus some added time. That's all we have remaining in the 90 minutes. Will we go to extra time? Will we see penalties? Can somebody find a decisive moment here between Africa's most populous nation, Nigeria, and the continent's largest country by area, Algeria? Yalo against Guediora. Arms around Guediora, and referee quick to spot that, happy to make the call in favor of Algeria. Belmadi looks a host of emotions, none of them good. Looks forlorn, dismayed at the moment. The side was leading by a goal and suddenly find themselves back on level terms with a Nigerian side who are proving problematic to break down defensively. Both these sides have the players who can produce those moments of magic that can turn any tie on its head. Both coaches will know that, both sets of players will know that, and some surely will believe that they can produce the magic. Figuli, though, is uprooted. Play on, says the referee, as possession is overturned. Figuli's club teammate this past season, Onyekuru, was on loan from Everton at Galatasaray as they won the league and cup double in Turkey. Looking to get things going here after his club teammate, Figuli, was stopped by Omurua, who took nothing but the ball. Kenneth Omurua. His 50th appearance for Nigeria today. Milestone moment for him. He too was out on loan this past season. He was out on loan at Leganes. There's Tebo. Didi. Musa. In towards Onyekuru. Looks to get the shot in here. It's gone high. And flick that over. Looking to get immediately involved and trying to produce the moment that'll change matters on the pitch. Musa a little far away from him. It's caught the calf of his opponent, and he was feeling that was out for a corner kick, and he was quite right with that call. A bit of a protest from Nigeria about that call. That's it. Algeria looking to hit back Zefan into a danger area. And fairly comfortably dealt with by Omurua. That's Awaziem. Now, he's the man who's picked up the yellow card. Now, this is a problem for Awaziem because if Nigeria do make it through to the final, he is out, suspended. So he and his teammate is Feghouli looks to create something here. Feghouli is fired over. Somehow created space for himself when he had a defender on his back. Unleashes the snapshot from just inside the area. Brilliant from Feghouli. Somehow, Jamilu Collins unable to close him down, and a wonderful opportunity for Feghouli to find the goal that would take Algeria 2 goals in front, and he's gone and spurned the opportunity. Daniel Akpe in the ball downfield. Aiming to advance to their 8th Africa Cup of Nations final are Nigeria. Only Egypt and Ghana have won. Have played in more finals. Some downfield. Muru. Awaziem genuinely showed maturity beyond his years as Awaziem with his performances. So only one substitution made so far. Super Eagles fans, someone's just spotted themselves on the television as we go to the big screen. You can see just over the head of the 4th official. One of 3 massive screens here at the Cairo International Stadium. 4 minutes of time added on as we break now into the period that might prove the difference between winning and losing, or we go to extra time. Sabeni. Sending it down towards Odion, now 30 years old, the China-based striker, who's an honorary citizen of Calgary in Canada, would you believe, after holidaying there a couple of years ago. Zefan. Guediora. Here's Mandi. Mahrez. Riyad Mahrez. Premier League title at Leicester City and Manchester City, helping them to the treble this past campaign. Lovely here from Algeria, and it's missed everybody. Zefan recovers. Mahrez again. Options for Algeria. On the near side, now Zefan. 3 players to pick out in the area, but he's opted to go back towards Feghouli, who calls him back into position. Zefan again. Ben Nasser. Ben Nasser looks to go around the outside. He's never scored a goal. An international match, and he comes agonizingly close here as it clatters off the crossbar and over. Ismail Ben Nasser nearly scores in added time to take Algeria through. Taking the responsibility on his own shoulders, beats Akpe. But not low enough to beat the woodwork. Ben Lamri can't believe how close that was. Then Ismail Ben Nasser, the man who's been called the future of the Algerian midfield, the energetic, industrious midfielder, nearly scores his first international goal. Back inside from Bunja. Feghouli. Now Mahrez goes all the way back to Ben Lamri in defence. Looks to charge this ball into Nigerian territory. It's a well picked out ball in towards Belaili. Now Ben Nasser. Mahrez showing his class and brilliance. Mahrez! Oh, unbelievable from Awaziem once again to deny Mahrez who look to be in for a shot on goal. It's a free kick here to Algeria on the edge of the penalty area in the last minutes of added time. Fantastic run from Mahrez, but look at the positioning from Chidozie Awaziem. The anticipation, the timing to pluck that ball out, and as Benasser goes over, it's a free kick to Algeria. Seconds remaining in added time. Now that ball recovered by Awaziem to deny Mahrez from potentially taking the shot in a one-on-one. Superb. Now this an opportunity for one of these players to write their own names in history. If Algeria can claim the goal here. Jamel Belmadi, man who masterminded the defeat of Senegal in the group stages. If his side wins, they go on to meet Senegal in the final. Bilaili and Mahrez, the two players who stand over this. The mind-blowing Mahrez has done it! Algeria are through! It will be a repeat of the group stage match with arguably the final kick of the game. The miraculous moment that has captured it for Algeria has come. Nigeria surely failed here. Simply marvelous. Nigeria cannot believe it. It has been a match that has seen momentum shift between these sides. There is still some time remaining, but surely that is the decisive moment in added time. Riyad Mahrez, who's never scored more than 2 goals in a calendar year for Algeria, has got 3 goals in this tournament and is leading Algeria to the title. Absolutely perfectly placed. A peerless strike. Riyad Mahrez showing his class. And there it is. We're watching the replays, but the final whistle is...
Unbelievable scenes from Cairo International Stadium as Algeria virtually knock out Nigeria on the final kick of the game. Sulaiman, final thoughts.
Well-deserved winners. Well-deserved winners. They haven't lost a game at this Africa Cup of Nations. They've only conceded 2 goals so far. Riyad Mahrez came out of his shell. What a goal. What a goal. I mean, you can see the shock on the face of the Nigerians, but Algeria deserves this. They've played well. They've been the better side in this game. Nigeria came out in the second half, but Ismail Benasser, Riyad Mahrez, Sofiane Foygouli, these guys have been great today.
It will be Senegal versus Algeria in the Africa Cup of Nations final, a rematch from the group stage. It comes up on Friday. The third-place game will feature Tunisia taking on Nigeria. Thank you for watching here on beIN Sports. Bye for now.